Oh, hi. I feel old. Yeah, it's been a long day. And you know how it is when you're just tired and your body's just like, ugh, right? Yeah, well, that doesn't stop the old updates, does it? Yeah. Shall we say, we got a lot of old stuff here. Yeah. Oh, man. So, what am I talking about? Well, I got a whole bunch of old school updates. Yeah. Including a Blu ray, a TV series, which is, probably the second best comedic TV series of all time when it comes to war films. Yeah. As well as some other cool stuff as well. Let's see what we got right here in the media files. Oh man, I'm getting old. Roll the credits. Hi, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. Yeah, it sucks getting old. What can I say? It really does. Anyway, so we will deal with the movies here in a minute. So I figured why not do the TV series I'm talking about first. So for those of you who are fans of old school 70s TV series will know that in 1969, a little movie entitled MASH got released in theaters. Now, this is the original movie, not the TV series. The TV series would come just not long after this. Well, the producer of that had the idea of doing a similar comedic show by the title of known as Hogan's Heroes. And well, shall we say now, here in the media files, we no longer have season 1. Yeah. So, we have here Hogan's Heroes season 2. Yeah, how cool is this? Now, I've never actually watched Hogan's Heroes, but I have watched quite a bit of MASH. And I've always heard that this show is basically just like, if you enjoyed MASH, as far as a comedy series, then you would enjoy this. So I'm like, cool. Now, mind you, these DVD sets I got for $2 a piece. So I'm not going to complain at all. So thank you, Thrift stores. And then they had the complete 3rd season. Then we also have here the complete 4th season. Are you getting it? Yeah. We also have the complete 5th season. And finally, we have here the 6th and final season of Hogan's Heroes. Yeah. So literally for $10, I got pretty much the entire series of Hogan's Heroes that I did not own. So literally for a grand total of $11, yeah, I got the first season at a yard sale for $1. So literally for $11, I literally have now in grand total the complete series of Hogan's Heroes. And what's great about it is that they're not on flipper discs, and they actually have all their episodes on individual discs, or not individual discs, but like single-sided discs, which is awesome. Okay, so up next, now here, basically all the stuff we're going to show off here are all set in the realm of World War II. So, first things first here, we got a couple of newer releases, which, the funny thing is, I think one of them technically really hasn't actually had an official release. The other one has. But the first movie we have here, I think technically this is a bootleg, but it looks pretty damn close to being a real physical release to me because what can I say? It was an awesome movie. I've only seen it like once or twice when I had Apple TV for free at one point. We have here Tom Hanks in Greyhound. Yeah, this movie is really awesome. I wish these streaming services would actually put this crap out on physical media. Because what if your internet don't work, son? Seriously. Then you can watch it. Yeah. No bonus content, though. But, I said, it actually looks pretty legit for a physical release. I'll have to actually look at how well the film print is. Let's take a look at the disc real quick. You'll be able to tell. Looks like it's a press. Yeah, I think that's an official disc because that's a pressed disc. So we will see how good the quality is. So okay, and then up next we have here the third series that was produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. So, of course, many of you, know those two other series that they did. Of course, they did the famous TV series Band of Brothers, as well as the second series, The Pacific, which, of course, Band of Brothers dealing with the Army, the Pacific dealing more with the Marines, and then they did the third series, which is more focused on the Air Force, which is entitled Masters of the Air. And I found this at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart of all places. One copy randomly sitting there. And surprisingly, they actually let me have it, which was kind of unusual because I didn't think they wanted to get rid of it for some awkward reason. But, I kind of begged and pleaded. I'm like, it's the only one you got back there. I know it's been opened. So they just kind of cut me a deal and just kind of gave it to me. So, anyways, yeah, so now I've seen this, or at least the first episode, and I loved it. So now I can't wait to actually sit back and watch this. Of course, this is based off of the book by Donald L. Miller, who was a former, military individual. So we've had we've had the Marines, we've had the Army, we've had the Air Force. Now, before Spielberg leaves this world, can we at least please get one more World War II series based on the Navy? That would be awesome. Surely there's a book out there somewhere that they can adapt into a miniseries that would look just as awesome as this, and as well as the other two, but more about the Navy. That'd be cool. Anyways, so up next here, the only Blu-ray we have here, a little bit opened, but I'm not going to complain because, well, it ended up being $3. Now, mind you, most of these DVDs that I got here were basically $1 that I found at a thrift store. So, now I have this movie on DVD, but I did not own it on Blu-ray. And mind you, this is spine number 2 from a distributor that is now no longer in existence. Of course, I'm talking about Olive Films, and this thing is still wrapped, minus the little tear that's on it. We have here a awesome Western starring the late, great Gary Cooper, as well as the lovely and gorgeous Grace Kelly. We've got here High Noon. Yeah, now this is actually has some pretty cool bonus material. So this is mastered from a new 4K restoration. A ticking clock, and Academy Award nominee Mark Goldblatt on the editing of High Noon. A Stanley Kramer production, and Michael Schlinger, the eminent producer of High Noon. Imitation of Life, The Hollywood Blacklist, and High Noon, with historian Larry Siebler, I can't pronounce his last name, and Blacklisted screenwriter Walter Bernstein. Oscars and Ulcers, The Production History of High Noon, a visual essay with rarely seen archival elements narrated by Anton Yelchin. And Uncitizen Kane, an original essay by the Sight and Sound editor Nick James, and the theatrical trailer. So yeah, now I do have the Ultimate Collector's Edition of this on DVD. There's actually bonus material on that's not even on this. So, because sometimes all the films will have their own exclusive featurettes, kind of similar to what Criterion does. If you can hunt down any sort of Olive Films, check it out. So then up next, we got here a Alfred Hitchcock movie, which I do not own. I thought I did, but apparently this one I did not. This is the remake of one of his films, because this is one of the only remakes that he actually did. Because the first one he liked, but of course way back then in the 30s, they really didn't have sound, or very early on we didn't have sound. But we have Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day in The Man Who Knew Too Much. Now, this is the 1955 version. So this is the remake of his own 1934 film. Which, if you love Hitchcock, definitely check this out. Yeah, I just kind of threw this in there because it goes with the theme of old. So, there you go. Okay, now, another old related series that we have. Apparently, this is a mini-series, which I did not think it was going to be. I thought maybe it was a movie, but this is actually from the Warner Archive collection. We have Richard Chamberlain stars in an all-star cast in this rousing true story about legendary explorer and politician who mapped and opened the American West. Based on the best-selling book by David Niven, Dream West follows the adventures of John Charles Fremont, an army officer who blazed the Oregon Trail, took California away from Mexico, and served as its first governor, who came in within a grasp of the presidency and fought for the Union during the Civil War. Cool. And, well, of course, I'm talking about Dream West. Yeah, now this is actually a miniseries. I thought it was a movie, and apparently not. It's actually got 2 discs, and, yeah. Runs for 337 minutes, so that'll kill basically an entire afternoon. So, there you go. But it has some really great actors in it for its times. Of course, Richard Chamberlain. He started another one of my favorite miniseries, Shogun. So, yeah, that's pretty cool to actually own that as well. It also co-stars F. Murray Abraham, Ben Johnson, Alice Creed, Jerry Orbach, Rip Torn, Fritz Reaver, and, Matrix Councilman Anthony Zerbe. So, yeah, how cool is that? Sounds like a lot of fun. I'll have to sit down and watch this sometime when I've got the time. Alrighty, so up next, I had to get this to add to my John Wayne collection because, what can we say? I love John Wayne. Been obsessed with him for years. Thanks, Grandpa. Of course, this movie I did not have, and it's one of the only ones out of his that I did not own. I've got the majority of his films on DVD and or on Blu-ray. Now, there's still some that are out there that I don't have yet, but still some I'm trying to hunt down. But this one here, we have, starring John Wayne and Lana Turner, we have The Sea Chase. Yeah. Has some pretty cool bonus features on here. Well, not really a whole lot, but it has a trailer gallery, or a trailer gallery. Basically just a whole bunch of trailers of John Wayne movies. But definitely looking forward to sitting down and watching another John Wayne classic. So, yeah. Alright, so then up next we have another World War II thriller, starring Jeff Chandler. We have Merrill's Marauders. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see that, but it's just kind of how it is. But directed by Samuel Fuller, who of course did one of my another great movie, which is called the Big Red One. Now, there's actually 2 versions of that movie. There's the original theatrical cut, and then there's the reconstruction, which is basically the full-on director's cut of that movie, which co-stars Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, after Star Wars. Basically all this really has is just the theatrical trailer, and that's it. So, yeah. There you go. Then we have here up next, we have The Devil's Brigade. Yeah, which co-stars Cliff Robertson and William Holden. Great 2 actors of their time. Or for those of us who grew up watching the 2000s Spider-Man, Uncle Ben. So we've got some pretty cool stuff here. I cannot remember what this one's all about, but from what I hear, this one's actually pretty cool. I'm like, well, hey, for $1, what am I gonna do? Say no? Definitely looking. I love watching old school war films, especially ones that I haven't actually seen before. So, all right. So then up next, I've been on the hunt for this one for a while, and I'm glad I finally have it. Um, Definitely one of the Spencer Tracy movies that I've been on the hunt for. We've got here 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. Yeah. What's cool about these is that I love these Warner Brother releases is that they give you a time during World War II when these movies came out. Basically, what life was like back at the movies back in the 40s, because they always have this really cool stuff as far as bonus content goes, and you can play as an play all feature, which is awesome. So we've got here, so we have, let's read the synopsis here. So, coaxing a hulking Mitchell B-25 into the sky from a short 500-foot carrier runway on a bouncing sea is dangerous. Tougher still is doing it with a full bomb load. But for Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle, played by Spencer Tracy, and the crewmen of 16 B-25s, that's just the start of the mission. Yeah, this is about the Doolittle raid, which is pretty cool. Academy Award-winning Best Special Effects recreate the squadron's low-altitude hedge-hopping sweep over Japan and the suspenseful saga of the attack that bolstered U.S. morale during the bleak early days of the Pacific War. The intensive training and the daring bombing run and the subsequent forced landings in China and the perilous trek to safety, all the valiant touchstones of the true life raid are captured in a beloved classic who stars Van Johnson, Robert Walker, and Robert Mitchum. So, as far as bonus material goes, so we have an Academy Award-winning nominated Pete Smith specialty short entitled Movie Pests, vintage passing parade short, A Lady Fights Back, classic cartoon, Bear Raid Warden, and the theatrical trailer. So yeah, basically, if you love history, definitely check this out, because I've never actually seen this movie, and of course, I'm a sucker for any cool World War II movie. Alright, so then up next, we have here a movie that I've never seen, but it's an older school movie, which it's the only Kino Lorber movie that I managed to find. It's from one of their older labels, and I don't believe this is a miniseries. I think this is an actual movie. But it's directed by one of my favorite 60s directors, John Frankenheimer, who, of course, did the original Manchurian Candidate, another awesome World War II thriller entitled The Train, and also probably one of the coolest racing movies of all time, Grand Prix, which you should definitely check that out. The movie, of course, I'm talking about is The Iceman Cometh, starring Lee Marvin and Jeff Bridges. Wow, that's early on in his career. As well as Friedrich March and Robert Ryan. Cool. So, like I said, I've never actually seen this movie, so I'm like, you know what? It's an old school movie, so why not give it a shot and see what it's all about? But like I said, this was only $1, so I'm not going to complain. So we have some pretty cool bonus material with it. We've got the theatrical trailer, the AFT Cinebill for the Iceman Cometh. That's the American film. I want to say trailer. I can't remember exactly what that's short for. Anyways, the American Film Theater. Excuse me. Still gallery. An interview with Eddie Landau, executive in charge of the American Film Theater. Eli Landau in front of the camera, ATF promotional reel from 1974. The American Film Trailer Gallery includes a complete list of the AFT films. The American Theater Film Scrapbook and enhanced for 16 by 9 widescreen TVs. So it has everything but the booklet. So, hey, so there you go. Kino Lorber, folks, for $1. Can't beat that. Alright, so then up next, we have here a Gary Cooper film, which I've never seen, but I recognize the title because it's the same novel written by legendary author Anne Reed. And, sorry, not Anne Reed, Anne Rad, who also did, the Fountain series as well. So, of course, or not the Fountain, what was the name of that? Atlas Shrugged, that's what I'm thinking of. So here we have the Fountainhead. Yeah, no, the Fountain I was thinking of, that's Isaac Asimov. Never mind, wrong author. I can tell my brain's a little bit mush. It stars Gary Cooper and Patricia Neal. This movie is also written by the original author as well. The screenplay was. So how cool is that? So we actually have a bonus content on here. We have a new featurette on the making of the Fountainhead and the theatrical trailer. So how cool is that? Some old school stuff for the collection. Still continues. All right, so up next, if you enjoy, James Cagney, you know what I mean? Some White Heat, loads of other great movies that he's been in over the years. This one I've heard pretty decent things about. Never actually seen it. But here we have James Cagney in Lady Killer. Yeah, I wonder if this movie was an inspiration for the Coen Brothers movie, The Lady Killers. Or, no, the Tom Hanks movie entitled. It's kind of similar title, but anyways, it's more of like a action comedy type of movie of some sort. But what can we say? I've never seen this, obviously. So we have some pretty cool bonus features on here. So we have commentary by film historian Dr. Drew Casper. Warner Night at the Movies, 1933. Short Subjects Gallery, including a movie retrospective short, The Camera Speaks. Vintage newsreel musical short, Kissing Time. Classic cartoon, The Shanty Where Santa Claus Lives. The trailers of The Lady Killer and 1933's Footlight Parade. I was about to say Paradise. Good grief. But yeah, I've never seen this, so it'll be interesting to see what this movie's all about, considering the fact that, I love these old school Warner Brother DVDs. These are awesome. And finally, here we have a movie from the Cinema Classics collection. Now, I've got several of these movies. This is also released from 20th Century Fox. Ones I've got included, of course, are Patton, Von Ryan's Express, I think, what other one was there? Oh, Tora. And now this movie I have never seen. I've never even heard of it. And just by the artwork alone, maybe want me to get the movie. But what can I say? It's got some pretty cool cast members. Some Star Wars, alumni in it. So we've got here George Segal, Alec Gillis, Max von Sydow, and Senta Berger. We've got here the Quiller Memorandum, which I have never even heard of. And like I said, I've never seen this. But all I know is that John Barry of James Bond fame did the score to this movie. And it sounds interesting. So we'll read the synopsis here. So we have an electric suspense pervades this absorbing and intelligent thriller starring George Segal and Alec Gillis, boasting a masterful script by renowned Nobel Laureate and Oscar nominee Harold Pinter, featuring a rousing score by Oscar-winning composer John Barry of James Bond fame. The Quiller Memorandum is a provocative, rip-snorting thriller that never lets up. With little else to help him beyond sharp wits, a strong will, and a very decadent school teacher, American spy Quiller, played by Segal, combs West Berlin for the headquarters of a shadowy neo-Nazi movement. Closing in on one disturbing truth, he quickly learns another. He is not the pursuer, but the prey, in a rapidly closing trap. Interesting. So we have commentary by film historians Eddie Friedfield and Lee Pfeiffer, as well as the original theatrical trailer. So yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Definitely, this is one of those 60s spy thriller type of movies, which is really cool. It's set in World War II. I love the artwork on this. This is awesome. Oh, cool. It actually even came with the booklet, too. That's sweet. That's awesome. Definitely, you're supposed to check that out. How cool is that? Let's see. Let's open her up here and see what it is. Oh, cool. It's got like a whole bunch of cool information about the making of the movie in this little tiny booklet, which is awesome. Cool. Sounds like really, really awesome. Oh, I love this. Well, why couldn't they put this on the back? Quiller is not just another spy, and the Quiller Memorandum is not just another spy story. Quiller works in a deadly, lonely way, always unorthodox, always effective. If Quiller shatters your nerves, remember, he's living on his. Cool. Alrighty, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. I definitely love these old school classic films. I'm going to make me like an old school like thriller section of movies, which is probably a nice chunk of my collection. So that'll be its own shelf within its own right. Yeah, so with that, you guys, I will leave links to everything down below. When it comes to Hogan's Heroes, I probably will post the complete series set. That way everything is all there for you in one go. So yeah, so links will be provided for everything. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and that notification button, leave a comment down below. And with that, nothing's wrong with beating some old school stuff into your head. Yeah, there may be newer things out there, but don't let the old stuff, go to lay by the wayside. Sometimes the title alone may not seem like it, but give these old school movies a shot. So with that, you guys, I will see you later. I'm going to go lay down and watch something old school. See ya.